They built monuments taller than any king, carved gods from stone, and believed death was only the beginning. Beneath the burning sun of the desert, a civilization rose from nothing and endured for over 3,000 years. This is the story of Egypt, a tale of divine pharaohs, forgotten tombs, ruthless generals, and timeless mystery. Our journey begins not with pyramids, but with a river, the Nile. Every year, it's flooded, predictably, turning the desert into farmland. Without it, there would be no Egypt. Around 3100 BC, to lands Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt poor, unified by a man known as or Menes. He wore the double crown, symbolizing this unity, and became the first pharaoh. From this moment, Egypt became a kingdom like no other, ruled by gods in human form. The early dynasties built the foundation of Egypt's culture: hieroglyphic writing, religious temples, and the belief that pharaohs were intermediaries between the gods and the people. But it was during the Old Kingdom that Egypt reached new heights. Pharaoh Djoser commissioned the first pyramid, designed by his architect, a man later deified by the Egyptians and even worshipped by the Greeks. Then came the age of the great builders. The fourth dynasty, Khufu, the mighty ruler of Giza, built the Great Pyramid monument, so massive it remained the tallest man-made structure in the world for nearly 4,000 years. Millions of limestone blocks, weighing tons each, were perfectly aligned without modern tools or machines. And yet, the secrets of how it was done remain unsolved. Khafre and Menkaure followed, adding their own pyramids and temples, surrounded by the mysterious Sphinx, whose face may have once borne the likeness of a king. These colossal structures were more than tombs. They were bridges to the afterlife, designed to ensure a pharaoh's immortality. But even greatness crumbles. The Old Kingdom collapsed around 2181 BCE, plunging Egypt into chaos. Regional governors called nomarchs seized power, and the land fractured. This first intermediate period was a time of decentralization, drought, and civil war. Egypt was no longer one. Salvation came in the form of Thebes and Upper Egypt. A powerful new line of kings rose, re-unified the country, and began what is now known as the Middle Kingdom. Pharaohs like Mentuhotep, the second restored order, launched ambitious construction and expanded Egypt's borders. Art and literature, bureaucracy improved. Egypt became not just a land of gods, but of logic, planning, and precision. Still, peace never lasts. Foreign powers, known as the Hyksos, infiltrated the Nile Delta. They brought horses and chariots, superior bronze weapons, and new military tactics. For the first time, Egypt was ruled by outsiders, but Egypt would strike back. From the city of Thebes came a warrior pharaoh. Amosai. He led a national revolt, expelled the Hyksos, and forged a new kingdom, Egypt's golden age. This was the time of empire. Under rulers like Thutmose III, Egypt stretched from modern-day Sudan to Syria. Tribute poured in from vassal states. Obelisks rose, temples expanded, and the pharaoh became the most powerful man on earth. And then came Hatshepsut, a woman who crowned herself king. She ruled not as queen, but as pharaoh, wearing the false beard and adopting the full royal titulary. Her reign brought peace, trade, and architectural splendor, including the majestic mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari. For decades, Egypt thrived under her rule, but after her death, her name was nearly erased from history. The next pharaoh, Thutmose III, launched military campaigns across the Near East, but his successors would face more than battles of conquest. Amenhotep IV, later known as Akhenaten, turned Egypt upside down. He abolished the traditional gods, built a new capital called Akhenaten, and declared Otan the sun the only true god. Monotheism in ancient Egypt, a radical experiment that alienated priests, people, and power. His son was Tutankhamun, later renamed Tutankhamun. He reversed his father's policies, restored the old gods, and died mysteriously at just 19. Forgotten in history until 1922, when Howard Carter opened his tomb seal. For over 3,000 years, unearthed treasures untouched by time. The boy king became a legend. Then came Ramesses II, the Great, a warrior, builder, and self-promoter who ruled for 66 years. He signed the world's first known peace treaty with the Hittites after the epic Battle of and adorned the land with colossal statues of himself. Abu Simbel Luxor Karnak. He was Egypt's last breath of grandeur. Yet even Ramesses couldn't stop the slow decay. Successors lacked his strength. The empire went. Invasions from the sea peoples shook the Mediterranean. The economy strained. The priesthood grew powerful and fractured the state. Egypt stumbled into the Third Intermediate Period. Foreign invasions returned. Libyans ruled. Pars of the Delta Nubian kings from Kush conquered the south and established the 25th dynasty, even restoring some of Egypt's old glory. But then came the Assyrians' brutal conquerors, who ruled Egypt as a satrapy, a mere province of their vast empire. Yet Egypt endured, its identity reshaped but not erased. In 330 BCE, a new power arrived. Alexander the Great, welcomed as a liberator. He claimed the title of Pharaoh and founded Alexandria. After his death, his general Ptolemy seized Egypt, founding a dynasty that blended Greek and Egyptian culture. The Ptolemies ruled for nearly 300 years. Then came Cleopatra VII, fluent in multiple languages, shrewd in politics, seductive to Rome. She aligned with Julius Caesar, later with Mark Antony, and fought to preserve her kingdom. But in 30 BCE, after their defeat by Octavian, she took her own life, or so the story goes. Egypt became a Roman province. The last pharaoh had fallen, yet Egypt was never truly conquered, not by Rome, not by time. Its legacy seeped into every civilization that followed. Its temples, tombs, and teles still whisper through the sands. The Nile still flows, and the pyramids still stand. This was Egypt, eternal, mysterious, unforgettable.